What's going on, everybody? Hope you've enjoyed your Hump Day Wednesday so far. This is NYG Jeffy T 85 here, and I'm bringing you the Black and Blue Injury Report for Wednesday, November 16th, 2022, as the New York Giants get ready for their game this Sunday at MetLifeStadium at 1 o'clock against the high-powered offense of the Detroit Lions. Now, the New York Giants today, they have a little bit more of an injury-riddled team than expected before. And I'm also going to read a couple of quotes and pressers from head coach Brian Daboll when he met the media today, updating some of the injuries right now. So first I'm going to get to that and what some of the things that Brian Daboll said in terms of some of the players that are a little bit banged up. In terms of Daniel Bellinger right now, he pretty much said that Daniel Bellinger is not ready to return yet. Bellinger was actually on the outside, running some laps on the outside, while the rest of the team was inside practicing because of the fact that the grass on the outside was wet. So the Giants decided to practice inside the Quest Diagnostic Center, inside the bubble. But right now, Daniel Bellinger is not ready to get back on the practice field. Obviously, we're still recovering from the broken orbital bone that he suffered against the Jaguars all the way back in Week 7. So Daniel Bellinger is still not ready completely yet. And Evan Neal actually was on the started to practice a little bit as he's coming back from his injury. In terms of guys like Shane Lemieux right now, according to Coach Daboll, he's improving right now with his practice reps, but he's not quite all the way there yet. So he's steadily improving, and remember, he's on that 21-day clock right now to come back off the injured list, and the Giants have about a week or so until they have to activate him, unless he does not come back within the 21-day window off injured reserve. He will automatically be put on season-ending injured reserve, and his season will be over. So that's something to monitor in terms of Shane Lemieux and what he's going to be doing for the New York Giants. And Brian Daboll also said that rookie Dane Belton, who had his first interception last week against the Houston Texans, he will be limited in practice today. So that's just a couple of the pressers that head coach Brian Daboll made at practice today. Now in terms of the New York Giants and their overall injury report for Wednesday, November 16th. Daniel Bellinger, he's dealing with an eye injury, the orbital bone injury, so he did not practice today. He pretty much was just on the outside, running a little bit of laps, just trying to get himself loosened up. Giants are waiting to see when Daniel Bellinger might be eligible to continue to be able to practice because of the fact he's dealing with the eye injury right now. So he was not that out there in practice. And before New York Giants fans get a little bit crazy, Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeaux were both not at practice today, but head coach Brian Daboll said that Dexter Lawrence right now, he is dealing with a back injury at the moment, but it's really the only reason why he did not practice today was because the New York Giants were pretty much trying to rest him up a little bit, give him a rest day. And Dexter Lawrence, that's the reason why he didn't practice. And Kayvon Thibodeaux right now is dealing with an illness issue, so that's the reason why he did not practice this past Wednesday. So Thibodeaux, Lawrence, and Bellinger were right now the only players that did not practice today. In terms of limited guys, Dane Belton right now, he's dealing with the clavicle injury like Coach Brian Daboll said in his press conference this afternoon. Dane Belton will be limited, and that's exactly what he was today. Dane Belton dealing with the clavicle injury. As we remember, Dane Belton fractured his clavicle during training camp and preseason, and he missed pretty much all of preseason as well as the first couple of weeks with that fractured clavicle bone. So he was limited today dealing with that clavicle injury. Kenny Golladay, he's now dealing with a hamstring injury, so he's limited right now at practice. I don't know how he got limited. He only played one half. But Kenny Golladay right now has a hamstring injury, and he's limited at practice right now. Evan Neal, he's obviously coming back from his sprained MCL that he suffered against the Jacksonville Jaguars. He was limited at practice today, which is a good sign that Evan Neal might be closer to returning to the football field than maybe originally thought, and maybe the Giants are just getting him ready for a possible return against the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving next Thursday. Wan'Dale Robinson, He's also dealing with a hamstring injury. So you got a couple of wide receivers right now in the Giants that are dealing with hamstring injuries. Robinson was limited today practice with that hamstring injury, and the Giants are going to monitor how his progression is going into the rest of this week. And Jihad Ward, the outside linebacker, he's dealing with a thumb injury right now, so he was also limited at practice. But one of the positive signs, at least, is that O'Shane Ximines, who was dealing with an injury, he was not on the injury report. So that's a good sign that Ximines seems to have gotten over his quad injury. Cordero Flott wasn't on the injury report, him dealing with his calf injury. So those are positive signs that they're right now not dealing with any type of injuries. Obviously, we know about Xavier McKinney. He's out right now for the next few weeks. Obviously on the reserve non-football injury list after the ATV accident he had a couple of weeks ago. Shane Lemieux is still on the PUP list. And Matt Parrott, as well as Rodarius Williams, they're getting themselves integrated back into the lineup because they're coming back from injuries. Both of them suffered torn ACLs last year during the season with the New York Giants in the middle and the end of the season. Parrott towards the end, Rodarius Williams towards the middle of the season. So that's pretty much your black and blue injury report for the New York Giants. The Giants right now, just to go over the injury report one more time, Giants had 3 players that did not practice today. Tight end Daniel Bellinger with the fractured orbital bone, but he was outside, sprinting on the outside. Hopefully the Giants are going to be able to get him back within the next couple of weeks. Have to wait and see how his vision is going to come back fully. Dexter Lawrence, he had a rest day today. He's also dealing with a minor back injury, so he missed practice today as head coach Brian Daboll gave him a day off. Kayvon Thibodeaux is dealing with an illness right now, and that's why he missed today's practice with that illness at the moment. And in terms of limited guys, Dane Belton is dealing with the clavicle injury right now that he fractured all the way back in preseason and training camp. Giants decided to give him a limited day of practice today. Kenny Golladay and wide receivers Kenny Golladay and Wan'Dale Robinson, each of them are dealing with hamstring injuries right now. They were both limited at practice today. At least they got a little bit of a session in there. Right tackle Evan Neal is dealing with a sprained MCL right now. That's a good sign that at least he's progressing towards making a return. He was limited today at practice. And outside linebacker Jihad Ward, he's dealing with a thumb injury right now, and he was limited at practice today. So that's a positive sign, at least on the Evan Neal front, that he might be on his way returning to practice. And Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeaux, they obviously are going to be returning to practice. And as I made in the update earlier today with my Giants roster update, Giants have signed Vernon Butler to a practice squad contract. He's now depth for the defensive line, and obviously Devery Hamilton has been re-signed to the practice squad. So the Giants have more depth on the offensive and defensive side of the line. So that is your black and blue injury report for the New York Giants for November 16th, 2022 on this Hump Day Wednesday. So if you guys like this video, please hit the like button below. Sub up if you haven't already to NYGJeffyT85 for more breaking news, updates, chatter, and injury reports surrounding the New York Giants. Turn on the bell for notifications on the next video or short that's going to be dropping on the channel surrounding the Giants. And let me know in the comments section what you think about the New York Giants injury report for today. If there's some surprises that were listed on there, if there are not any surprises, and your overall right now aspect of the Giants in terms of their injured players heading into this Sunday's game, Week 11, against the Detroit Lions. So I thank you very much, everybody. Have a fantastic rest of your Hump Day Wednesday. Take it easy, and as always, let's go New York Football Giants. Together Blue, everyone.